Hi everyone, I'm Kae Hana and I'm a lecturer for the School of Fashion here in NAFA. And if you remember, we had
Nicholas, who is also a lecturer.
and today we have a very special guest with us.
Hi,
Introduce yourself.
my name is Sabril. I'm a graduate from both NAFA and also the Boston Conservatory at Berkeley.
I have questions.
Yes.
I asked him this the first episode. I'm going to ask you that. Coffee or tea?
Ooh la la. Oh, I used to be coffee. Sorry, I used to be tea, but now I'm coffee.
No.
What kind of coffee?
What kind of coffee? Very specific. Old Town coffee, caramel coffee.
Ah,
Yes, that one, yeah.
So a little sweet, right? A little smoky. Yeah. Which one's which one?
Absolutely.
You were a NAFA alumni?
Yes.
When did you graduate?
I graduated from the dance diploma back in 2020. I was actually the
okay.
first COVID batch to graduate.
Okay, so graduated in 2020, and what are you working on
So,
right now?
Right now, I'm a dance artist working with Singapore Chinese Dance Theatre.
Okay.
And at the same time, also, I just recently choreographed a production for the third space at NAFA for the diploma and the BA program for dance.
That's cool. Okay. How did you find that experience?
It was my first ever professional experience
Okay.
after graduating from my degree in Boston. And I must say, I was really, really grateful for the opportunity to come back to NAFA, but to also give back to NAFA and the dance industry here. Because without both Singapore and NAFA, I wouldn't be the artist I am today to have the chance to travel around the world. And it really giving back to NAFA was one of the best gifts.
You were mentioning about Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Awesome, yeah. So how did Boston start? I was actually back in 2019. I was one of the students under the NAFA Talent Development Program. And thanks to that program, I had the chance to go to the Boston Conservatory Summer Intensive for dance for 3 weeks. That was when I think I was in year 2 diploma. And I had the chance to go there and I loved it. It was amazing. It was like a summer intensive of a teaser of the degree program, the Bachelor of Fine Arts in Contemporary Dance. So I had that experience and I told myself,
oh my god, after NAFA, I want to go there.
so that's what I did. I completed NAFA and then I had my 2 years of national service as a firefighter. But it's okay because it was also kind of a good break because of COVID. By the time I joined short form BOCO, Boston Conservatory, I joined BOCO in 2022. And thanks to the diploma, I transferred into the third year of a 4-year program.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Wow, that's almost like a fast track, isn't it?
Very fast track. So it is quite common for graduates of the diploma to transfer into the second or third year of a degree program overseas or even in NAFA or LaSalle.
I must say, actually, I'm very, very curious to find out
Me
everything
too.
from you because
Me
dance is an area that I think we talked about it a lot, but we never really go all the way into.
Right. Because we want to talk a lot about endless possibilities, right? Like we spoke about it previously.
Yeah.
And then both of us, we want to know the kind of endless possibilities with you, and you are living proof of it, right? So you graduated from NAFA, you went to the US, you stayed there for 4 years, and you are heading back there again.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
tell us a little bit more about that. Like, why are you heading back to New York?
So it's really my dream to find a full-time job in a dance company overseas, and specifically the East Coast of America. So that's Boston and New York. Boston was where I graduated from, and New York is really where I really would like to work at. And there's a few companies I'm really interested in, and I'm actually going to audition for them, such as the Limon Dance Company, Paul Taylor, and I'm actually also going to Canada to audition for Ballet British Columbia. Ballet British Columbia, one of the resident choreographers there is Crystal Pite. Crystal Pite is like one of the world-class choreographers in the world, very inspirational. So really looking forward to that. But also mainly because of the genre of contemporary dance, but also contemporary ballet. And I think that really comes a lot from my growth in NAFA because as a diploma dancer here, I had a really strong training in both contemporary dance and also classical ballet. But I just felt like there wasn't ever a place for performance to combine both genres together. And I realized that America, in my opinion, America really offered a lot of that, like contemporary ballet. Like you wouldn't really hear a lot of that right now over here in Singapore, or maybe now it's better, but at my time there wasn't really enough opportunities of contemporary ballet performances. Yeah.
Okay, so educate me. I don't know anything. What is contemporary ballet? Because I know ballet, right? I mean, like layman. I'm a layman, right? Like ballet, yeah, we've heard about it, we've seen it, right? But what is contemporary ballet?
So maybe you just give a bit of what contemporary dance is and what ballet is first.
Sure, yes.
Maybe ballet first. Ballet, many people would see ballet as classical ballet from coming from King Louis XIV. He's the inventor of it, and that was back in the 16,000s. And then right now, ballet, classical ballet, like one of the companies that do it here is Singapore Ballet. That you will see performances such as Swan Lake, Giselle. So those are the traditional classical ballet performances. But then that's the ballet side. Then contemporary side, it's a lot of it's actually the progression from ballet, breaking the rules and boundaries of ballet. Yes, breaking like the lines, the body, the shapes. And honestly, in today's world of contemporary dance, it's almost anything you can think of. I mean, it's so broad that I mean, the meaning of contemporary means right now.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about contemporary dance is that it's always evolving. You're always breaking the rules of the traditional way of dance in maybe classical dance or even traditional dance or any art form probably. Now that's kind of what contemporary is. And now to combine that with ballet, I think in my perspective of contemporary ballet is finding how do you have the shared concept, but also the history of both worlds.
Yeah.
Having certain traditional methods in choreography, and also having certain modern methods in the combination of both. Like especially with improvisation, that wasn't really used in the past, but now with that toolkit of improvisation, I think it makes the vocabulary of dance and movement more, like much more broader.
I mean, as a person who knows nothing about ballet, right? I do know that it's really strict. It has rules. It has like, you do this with this. I mean, technique wise, right? So this contemporary ballet is different.
I would also say to be a contemporary ballet dancer, you would need to have a certain level of fundamental with classical ballet. I feel like it's like you have to know the line first before you break it. Yes,
Okay, got it,
exactly, absolutely, absolutely. So
I understand.
yeah, and actually, I would like to mention that one of my previous works with NAFA for the third space was a contemporary ballet choreography. With both the diploma and degree students. I was really, really lucky to be able to work with 13 different dancers, incredible dancers. Seriously, like I feel like the current dancers of NAFA is like they have improved so much. Like ever since my time back in 2020 and now it's 2024. Like oh my god, after 4 years, like the level has really improved. So I think other than the movement and genre of it, I think it's also important to see how can we find our own personality and identity with the medium of ballet. And that was actually one of my concepts for my piece. As a choreographer, I wouldn't say I'm a storyteller, but I like to say that I would like my dancers to connect dance with their own identity.
So how did you go from hip hop to like classical ballet to contemporary ballet, and how did that happen?
So I must really thank my parents because it was my parents that saw me with the potential for dance. So out of the few performing arts, dance was really something they felt like I connected with a lot. And then therefore they transferred me into a competition studio called Jadabat Singapore and also the Dance Sport Academy. So from that's when I started learning modern jazz, classical ballet, contemporary dance, Latin American ballroom, standard ballroom like waltz. And I was actually from the age of 10 all the way till 17, I was a professional competition dancer in both jazz, ballet, and especially Latin. I feel like in that era, I was very much a Latin dancer. And I think that has made me the dancer I am today. Especially Latin is very expressive. It's very, very wow. Right? Yes, very passionate. And I think that's where the passion really, really started.
Did you think your experience in Boston kind of shaped you to be the practitioner that you are today?
Yeah, it absolutely did. I think the nice thing about it is that when you go overseas, I think Sabril will agree with me. You get to see all the different perspectives. You get to work with different people, and it opens your eyes up, and it gives you new perspectives, and then it makes you want to do what you do even more. It's like I'm sure you felt like, okay, now this is going to make me even better.
Right.
And I mean, you've heard from Sabril, dance, the rehearsal process, the preparation process is something. I was just thinking to myself on the way here, it's like dance is probably the most, if not one of the most athletic performing arts forms. It's something absolutely insane. I have watched videos, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they say they start their day at like 9 or 8, and it starts with like 2 hours of stretching, and you're nodding your head. How do you stretch for 2 hours? I need to know.
I don't, but I have classmates who do.
Wow.
Yes, or at least 1 hour.
It's at least 1 hour. Can you stretch for 1 hour?
No, not even 20 minutes.
Right? I mean, like usually people think stretching is 5 minutes, and these people spend an hour to stretch.
Right.
And they stretch like, I've seen kids talking about,
I've got so many tests coming up next week. Yeah, I've got so much homework.
and their legs are behind their head.
Multitasking.
Yeah, and to them it's like, oh yeah, oh wow, I had so much Chinese homework lah. Like, yeah lah, don't know lah, haven't hand up my this, their legs are there, and you're like, it's like, are you sure is that normal? Like you ask the music, so is that normal? I don't think it's normal. It's like, because dancers are like, yeah, so they stretch, and then you have to dance, and you have to rehearse, and then you just have that little bit of lunch where you cannot anyhow eat.
Of course.
We'll talk about diet later, because he will tell you this one cannot eat, that one cannot eat, because
I get it.
Yeah.
For us in fashion,
Yeah.
like, our garments are expression of who we are, or like, or of our practice. But for him, his entire
is
body
is the
his
method of
instrument.
expression. Yeah,
His entire body.
correct.
Like for you, it's your hands,
At
it's your
least,
voice.
yeah.
It's body.
Mm.
But for me, I just sew. And then I design, and then, put on mannequin.
Okay, but you say that lah, but I think Sabril and I will also say I'd rather do what we're doing than to spend 8 hours sewing, right?
What are the realities of being a dance professional in Singapore?
Ooh, being a dance
And you
professional.
can be as honest as please be honest, because we were very honest.
Okay, here's the thing. I actually thought it would be tougher than what I thought it was. Yes, because honestly, my training in NAFA and BOCO was tougher than company life.
Really?
Yes, like
Oh.
in actually NAFA we started at 9 a.m. but in BOCO we started at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
But I will give some credit.
You don't forget over there, minus 15 degrees is a thing.
Oh yes, and the coldest it ever was in Boston, -21.
You're a tropical boy. Like you're from Singapore. How was it coming back into Singapore? And then, things like, what was the first thing in your mind like, hey, I need to find a job? How was that? Was it easy? Was it difficult to transition? Was it hard to find roles? Was it,
I mean,
tell us about it.
after graduating, my family really wanted me to come back for a while. So I did come back for my family. And when it came to jobs, I was really, really lucky that my director Jenny Neo from Singapore Chinese Dance
yeah.
Theatre, she was looking for a male dancer, and it was just nice that I just came back, and that's when decided to join SCDT as a full-time company artist.
Okay.
And coincidentally, it's actually SCDT's 10th anniversary this year. Yeah, so it was quite a big year for the company, and also
Yes.
for the Chinese dance festivals and yes. So I was just I was just really lucky that the stars aligned,
Yeah.
and I was able to come back home with a stable job, a full-time job, and also more importantly, to still be able to pursue my passion of performing. Yes, and even though I may have graduated more from a major of contemporary dance, many people always question me, why Chinese dance?
Yeah. I was just about to ask. Yeah.
I will say I did have at least 1 year of experience of Chinese dance back in secondary school in my CCA.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, but I would even say that 1 year of Chinese dance wasn't enough. But I feel like having the chance to join a Chinese dance theater really gave me the opportunity to keep learning. And I think as any human, I think learning is something we should always keep doing.
Yeah.
And to just keep adding your toolkits, to keep adding skills to your artistry.
Would you be able to see Chinese dance and classical ballet or contemporary ballet? Would you be able to kind of act a little bit of each?
Absolutely. I mean,
you see
there's
it
always, especially in this 21st century world, there's a lot of fusion dances.
Right.
Very inspired contemporary Chinese, contemporary ballet, contemporary fusion dances.
Right.
It's quite a common thing in many creators right now in this world today. I must say that Chinese dance has really improved my artistry in both ballet and contemporary dance, especially with flexibility. Like Chinese dance flexibility is another level.
Really?
I thought ballet was insane. No, Chinese dance is more insane. Like ballet, my leg was supposed to be like above 90 degrees, but Chinese dance they take your hand and pull up to here, literally. Yes, insane.
Why are you looking at me? I do not know. But I was about no, but I don't know. But I don't know. But if Chinese martial arts is anything to go by, then there is a little bit of that lah.
What are your thoughts about interdisciplinary? And do you think it's important?
Absolutely. I feel like interdisciplinary practices, not only is it something we should know right now, it's just already happening since the beginning. It's been happening since the start of like performances, and it's just that we don't really realize it. It's just really it's more of being aware that it's existing and the acknowledgement that it's happening, really.
So in the field of dance, what are the kind of interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary practices that you have done?
I'd like to mention one of the modules I learned in BOCO, which is actually 2 modules: movement theatre for dancers and also acting for dancers.
Cool.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So
What
that
does it
means
entail?
we actually learn again the toolkits of how a theatre artist or movement theatre artist would work when it comes to their, let's say, their acts or their theatre performances through acting, especially through storytelling or expression. Like I feel expression is something dancers don't really touch on a lot. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, so,
You mean by facial?
Like face?
facial expression. Yeah, but I feel like having the extra skill to be able to express not only through your body but also through your face just adds that extra taste.
I never thought about it
Yeah.
that way. Like
Okay.
face.
I think it's very similar. A lot of times musicians just play.
Yes,
And we
yes,
are told
yes,
to just express through the music. Don't move your body too much. Then when they get thrown into something that requires them to move their body, let's say opera, and then all of a sudden they're like,
What do I do with my left hand?
or like
Right.
theater where I'm supposed to sing that way, but I'm supposed to talk this way because you are there, but my voice has to go that way. In opera scenes, you're expected to sing, you're expected to act. In many cases, you're expected to dance, and so you have to learn how to move your body, and then that's when we get dancers to come in and watch our students attempt to butcher.
So more
Every-
overlaps. That's
we-
nice.
Yeah, but the overlaps happen in so many ways. I mean, we talk about that, but I'm sure you've also had to prepare your own costumes. You probably know how to sew, you know how to do your shoes, and
Right.
yeah.
So costumes. What are the costumes that are involved in dance? Because we spoke a little bit about how fashion and dance work together. Of course, like we make the clothes, right? Because I feel like a lot of my students then didn't understand that clothes don't just lay on top of a person. Like it has to move with the person. It has to be functional, right? So that's why I brought in a dancer, and I made my students look at how a human moved. Okay, so and then because of that, like my students understood. Oh, okay,
That's what it seems like.
right. So when it comes to your personal costumes, what are the functions that you need?
I love that question. It's so interesting. I've never thought of that. The first thing that came up to my mind is actually the texture of it, because I feel the textures of costumes also determine what you're trying to show in your choreography, in your creation. Yeah. Textures are like can be how do I say this, like shiny or like matte. Like if I were to collaborate directly with someone who makes a costume for me, I just wouldn't have the knowledge yet to properly know how to say what I need. But because thankfully they have the perspective of what a dancer needs, which is very interdisciplinary. I felt like that's a really helpful for both the company, for the dancer.
It's a symbiotic relationship, right?
And it's very skill specific as well, because because working with dancers is very different from, say, working with actors or working with singers, because this is just my perspective lah. But if I were to play for singers, for opera singers, it's very different from, say, repetitory for dancers, because they are looking out for different things. And of course, a lot of ballet works have been adapted for purely instrumental. You think of, like, again, I mentioned Stravinsky, and of course his Nijinsky, the choreographer. You think about someone like Bernstein and Jerome Robbins, and like that's the whole sort of like that sort of music. You can't do some things, and I'm sure for fashion it will be the same. Like, you probably think that this is how it's supposed to be like, and then you work with dancers and you realize, I'm sorry, they have to be able to do these movements and breathe. What happens when a dancer gets older? Talk to me about that. Like, what are the usual things, challenges that you may face?
It always depends on, everyone's different, every person's different, every body instrument's different. So it really depends how well you take care of your body, whether you have any injuries, whether are you still training your body well in terms of stretching, strength, and mobility.
Right.
I think those 3 pointers are always really important to me. But it's, in my opinion, it's never ever the end for a dance career, because a dance career is really limitless. Like, not many people can realize that, but that's really so many different types of jobs you can do as a dance artist.
Tell us more, please.
Yeah.
I would like to know.
I feel like one common thing that people always think of dance is to be a performer, whether that's to be in a company dance, to be a company dancer in a full-time company, or to be a freelance where you do gigs. A dance artist is not only a dance artist. We can actually also be like therapists, because back in NAFA and BOCO, we have this module called dance science, where we learn about our anatomy. Oh my god, we had to learn more than 180 bones, the names of it I can't remember anymore, but I have no idea how I remember all of them for exam. I got 70%.
Yeah.
I still passed.
Yeah, that's about 3/4 of the human body is nearly correct.
But yeah, basically we on top of learning the names, but what's more important is to learn the functionality of your body, the mobility, how you move, the muscles, the major muscles, minor muscles, and like, why does it hurt? Why does it feel like singing or like weak on one side but strong on the other side? So we learn how to balance our body, and we learn actually how to heal our body. First of all, this body is my instrument, so I got to take care of this instrument, but simultaneously it's also my life. Yes. So I think it's really beneficial for both, not only my career, but also for just general life.
So you were talking about being a therapist. To be honest, I never thought about that. Right?
Yeah,
same. That's a very interesting thing for you to bring up. But are there other parallel jobs within the dance?
Absolutely, dance therapy.
Is
there actually courses in the world? Unfortunately, not really much in Singapore, but in the world, in America especially, where there's like diplomas or degrees in dance therapy. From my understanding of it, it's really using the medium of dance to heal someone from maybe from trauma or from special needs. Yeah.
Just like, so basically art therapy but dance. That's so cool.
I would like to share one of choreography and production I did back in BOCO. So it was called The Winter Works. It's just a production in Boston Conservatory. I had the chance to choreograph a solo on myself and also shared with another dancer. But basically, it was actually a piece inspired from my time as a firefighter. So coincidentally, it was during the period when I had my first CPR. No, yes, my first CPR case where I actually lost a life. So I remember at that time it was quite, let's say, traumatic, but I think I was really, really blessed to have the medium of dance, but also to understand that this medium of dance is actually could be a way for me to heal myself. So I would sometimes go to the studio and just literally just dance, just not think and just move because I love to dance. It's my passion and it's something that I love to do. So why don't just use that beautiful medium and to heal yourself, to
So it
just
could be like
reconnect to you back
a
to yourself,
release.
a release.
Okay,
And then
okay.
just coincidentally, it was during that period of that choreography opportunity. I just decided to use the choreography process to also make it a healing process, to just feel what I wanted to feel what I wanted to make. And I think that created really, really a powerful choreography that I've never really done before. And I think I'm really glad that I got the acknowledgement from not only my professors but my dean also, and decided to also use that as one of my as my degree final.
Nice. Awesome.
Ultimately, it did heal me from
Right.
that trauma.
We've heard of art therapy. I've never heard of the parallel.
I guess a lot of these art forms are now moving towards its therapeutic uses. There is, of course, art therapy, which we see a lot of. Music therapy is a big thing nowadays. And I guess it only makes sense that dance therapy would come along, because then that involves your entire body, and that's interesting. Actually, I mean, I think any form of creation is therapeutic.
I think because my personal form, okay, is embroidery. So I embroider hyper realistic paintings. Okay, so there's just some days where it gets very overwhelming. Adulting is so exhausting. I'm tired. But sometimes you feel a little burnt out from your job. And sometimes you're just like, what? This weekend I want to embroider. This weekend I want to paint. Just something like that. I think that the release of just me, music, and just embroider, getting in my zone and just being in touch with my hands. Sometimes I feel like we as creatives, I don't know if you guys feel this. It's always feel like I need to do something. I need to do something with my hands. And then I cut fabric and then I make myself a pair of pants. You know what I mean? Just something small. But then I feel like it reconnects me to who I am. And I'm not just a lecturer. I'm just me cutting fabric to make myself pants. Just to reconnect back to who I am, right?
Yeah, sometimes just feeling the weight of the instrument, and then what you get, the sound. And I suppose for you, it's just like what's in the space. What is my body doing in the space?
I like to say goosebumps. Actually, goosebumps, honestly.
Right.
Sometimes when you just enjoy dancing, you really feel that. Yeah. And it's just really in the zone of just enjoying the moment and being, I think really the word being present. Sometimes as artists, we may forget to take a break and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, you're right. But I also think because within your role as a dance practitioner, and then you have bills to pay. We talked about it. We spoke about this last episode, and you have bills to pay, and then these are the realities of living in Singapore. Living anywhere, right? Sometimes you forget why you do what you do instead of doing it for money, right? You love what you do. I love what I do, and you love what you do. But sometimes things get in the way. Like I said, adulting is very difficult. I also want to ask, okay? Since you were based in Singapore, and then you were based in Boston, and then you're based in Singapore again, and then you're moving to New York, right? You are here and there. Do you have any hopes or the vision for the future of dance in Singapore?
Oh my God, absolutely. I mean, growing up in Singapore and growing up as a Singaporean also, I do really love this country. And I feel like it's also because I'm really grateful that I'm able to find this gratitude for what the dance in Singapore has given me, because without this start, I wouldn't be who I am. So I think it's always important to acknowledge that. And of course, I would love the dance industry in Singapore to improve and get better. And it is improving slowly and steadily. So yeah, I really hope there will be more opportunities, more support, not only in terms of finance, but also in terms of the simple thing of the purpose, finding that purpose, finding that gratitude. It's really, I think it's those values that sometimes I feel maybe this industry lacks a bit. But slowly and surely, especially with this younger generation of students, like, they are honestly really smart, and I hope they'll be able to use that as a toolkit to be able to improve not only the industry but also improve the lifestyle of an artist, any artist.
That's very interesting. Now, when we talk about, your future vision or hope, and you speak about support, is there anything in particular that, hey, I wish I had this support when I was a student, or I wish I had this support, be it in Singapore, be it in Boston, I wish I had this.
Maybe I'll start with talking about a bit of the difference between a dance career in Singapore and a dance career in overseas, like America. I mean, definitely there is more support financially and also with the government in New York, let's say. But there's also something different about the approach or the perspective of the dancers and artists in New York. I think it's really the identity and the connection with, I always say, the purpose and their purpose and meaning with their art style. In this case, maybe dance. Like, I feel like every dancer who I meet, especially professionally in New York, they really know what they want to do. They really have a very clear direction of what they want to do, which is really amazing, because I've never been such in an environment where there's just so many passionate people and inspiring people. It's just so refreshing. I mean, I'm sure it was the same thing for you when you visited Boston. There's just so much inspiration, so much vibrance.
Yeah.
Because I think the best part about this is that you have local perspectives, right? You have local training, and then when you bring it there, it's completely different. And like you said, it's the combination of both that gives you guys like real edge.
Or even better, when you go there and realize that they also do this, then that's really fun, because you're like, okay, now that's what really works. Then you come back and tell your students, by the way, this one is important because they do it there too. Yeah, there's a little bit of that, I suppose. Yeah. Either way, I think that's kind of what we have planned for today, yes.
For the audience, thank you for joining us in another episode of InspoGAO. And please stay tuned
For more.
so if you are interested, okay, watch us. Stay tuned. Now, my favorite segment where we pull questions from a cup and we answer. You ready?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's have questions. And this is where I stick my hand out and magically
Let's see what question.
say stop.
Stop.
Okay, got it. Have you ever created art that made you cringe after looking at it later?
Yes. Cringe-worthy art. It was called Eye Candy.
Okay.
In Boston Conservatory. It was my first group production. I liked it in the beginning. In the end, I was like, what did I do with this choreography? Like, it was so messy. Okay, it's like also contemporary ballet, but like mix of I had this imaginary river that came across the wait. I don't know how to say this. I will try to say my own words first, if it makes sense. I had 10 dancers, amazing dancers, but my choreography was questionable. I'm glad that people like the choreography, but not the concept. But anyway, the concept, what was it? Oh my god, it was everywhere. Why even eye candy? I'm questioning myself.
Okay, so eye candy. What is eye candy? Why eye candy?
Why they even choose eye candy? I think the main reason is because I wanted to question the audience. Like, among the 10 dancers, who is your eye candy? Who attracts you the most? Because it's like there are many solos happening at the same time, but who do you actually watch because
Okay.
because I want to give I like playing with the audience. I like to give a choice for the audience, like who do they want to watch, or like are you gonna watch two people at the same time? Are you only gonna watch one soloist while three others are dancing on stage? So I had 10 dancers, and at one time there'll be at most 4 or 5 soloists, or maybe three soloists and then one duet. So it's like a mix. It's like a mathematics game. Like I challenge myself as a choreographer to make sure there's only like 5 dancers on stage at one time. Only in the beginning and end, that's when everybody's together. So it's like a very interesting choreography challenge I gave to myself.
So why was it cringy though? Because I don't know, layman, I like the concept, I like the idea. Right, so why was it cringy?
I think because it was the title, Eye Candy.
It sounds like a fantastic title, though.
I can is quite a nice thing.
I'm sure you'll revise it one day, and it will be a wonderful production, and it won't be so cringeworthy to the creator. Yeah, it sounds fantastic though. Like, even though you say that it made you, I guess, okay, fine, it did make you cringe after watching it later.
Oh god, more questions. I don't only want.
No, all my performances were fantastic. I've had the fortune of basically making sure that you practice till nothing goes wrong on stage. So if anything cringeworthy happens, it's not your fault. There have been some performances which are a little bit less than perfect.
Yeah.
And somehow my skills in improvisation were put to the test when basically everything deviates. Those are fun because you play and then you realize, no one's together with you. Do I stop now and tell the audience I'm so sorry, we begin again? Or do I keep going and you just keep playing and play on the fly? There are other cringeworthy performances. A friend of mine came up to me and said, hey, want to make some money? And then of course I said, yes. So all we have to do is perform some of these compositions by these composers. Can't be that bad, right?
Oh, wow, what compositions these are.
We played it and I tell you, we burst out laughing through half of those pieces because it was just so, you cannot continue playing. And then on the day of the concert, which is the thing that I learned from my music teacher back in JC, when you are going to laugh and you know you cannot laugh under any circumstances, you bite the rim of your tongue and do that. It will stop your tongue from moving too much.
Sometimes dancers, we don't know how to look at each other. Like when we look at each other very seriously and then someone just starts smiling. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, teacher, this is my outfit. And you're like, Salah from top to bottom.
I mean, of course I would not laugh. They're students, that's why they're here.
Yes.
Right? They're learning.
But you've seen those outfits
Of course,
before.
of course I've
The
seen
sort
them.
that you will not get caught dead wearing.
Of course. But I think that's a matter of taste. Thank you again for joining us, and that wraps up the question from a mug.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think it's something that it opens up a more casual conversation, and I
think so.
really like it.
Yeah.
Because without that question from a mug, you would have never known any of this.
And now we do. Oh yeah, we have to end the episode here.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that is
and
a
we will
pity.
see you in the next
In the next episode, yeah. Hopefully there'll be answers by then. Stay
Hopefully
tuned.
not.